my name is Jack Jackson, Jack C. Jackson, Sr. My son is a junior. I'm a member of Kia'ani clan. Ashi is my father. Tachini is my grandfather. Tchini my Nali. I'm originally from way down there, Tisto, to Delcon. And I went to school, boarding school. At the age of, I think it was 12 or maybe 11, the federal government introduced this new great idea, setting the Navajo kids off reservation, attempt to forget about their language and their way of life, and begin to go into the mainstream of society. If they forget about their language and their way of life, their culture, they make a better citizen. That was the crazy idea that they had. So that's why they had a program back in '46 where they round up as many kids as possible between the age of 12 or 11 and ship them away from here. That's what they did to us, and I was one of the victims.
And when you think back about the stories that my Uncle Jack and my father would tell about how they survived in the world and how they struggled, even the idea of sending them off to school. And you think about those stories, and the one that I always remember my father telling was how they were getting onto the bus for the 5-year program when children were picked up from across in the Navajo reservation and picked up and loaded up, and their mother thought they were going to California or Oregon or somewhere. Instead, because they're identical twins and the sacredness of being twins and how it's not, I mean, they don't want them separated in any prayer, any traditional ceremony or anything that they do. They always stick together. Well, they got to the front of the line and one bus was going one way and the other bus was going another way. And one of them, I don't know if it was Jack or my dad, was loaded onto one bus and they were going to stop the line and start the new bus. And so he jumped back off because I think it was my Uncle Jack, or I'm not sure which one it was, jumped back off and they got on the next bus. And so that next bus wasn't going to where their parents were told they were going. Instead, they went to Oklahoma.
We went to school in Oklahoma, my brother and I, and there we saw rodeos, regular rodeos that were well organized and all that. So that's about 1950, after 50 when I came back here. Before that, they didn't have real good, we didn't have real good organized rodeo. Mostly what they had, horse racing. So I came back here and began to look around, and it looks lousy, you know.
My Uncle Jack and yes, my father Dean, they organized the first organized professional Indian Rodeo Association, which was the All Indian Rodeo Cowboys Association. It was originally called the All Indian Rodeo Association. You know, I have memories of the days when they sat and worked late into the hours and worked on the rules and the plans, and along with some other people that would be at our house.
We had to write up a plan of operation. We had to put articles of incorporation, set the rules, bylaws, how we're going to go about it. One of the biggest things we had to overcome in these associations was booze. People were drinking all the time. There'd be drunks out there and they'd fight.
At that time, people didn't really look at Native Americans as good cowboys because a lot of them just went to drink. It was just a fun kind of thing. But Jack and Dean made certain rules that they follow today.
So I said, no more drinking in the arena. That was the toughest part. And enforcing that law was very, very tough. So that's one very important part that the association played. And we, my brother and I, and some of the boys, we formed that association, and they give us a lot of credit for that. When I went to Diné College, and they gave me this position as a head basketball coach, athletic director. And today, I think back what I did, what my life went through, and said that's the best thing I ever did. Diné College was never had a stable budget. Back 1999, 98, that's when we introduced a bill for state funding. And Arizona is a very conservative state. And the people there are very conservative, and Republicans also. And we knew we would have a tough time with it. The final vote on that bill was Tuesday morning. It was scheduled for Tuesday morning. So here comes Tuesday morning. And in the Senate chambers, it was full with Navajo people. And down on the floor, too, there were a lot of them. That was the only bill that would be considered that day. So it's put on the board. That the Diné College bill number, forgot what it was. That's the president. Her name was Brenda Burns. So this is the only bill we'll consider. These people have a long ways to go back home. So let's do it right away. So okay, everybody in favor, everyone's in favor, green. So green came up one side over there, and then there's still 6 or 7 that I'm talking about, the set there, and looking at each other's. And you sat there for a few minutes, and finally, Brenda Byrne, the president, pushed her button green, and the others turned green. So it was a unanimous vote. So we got that bill passed. It was a 10-year compact, 17.5 for 10 years, million. That 10-year compact expired at the end of 2010. And there's a tribe down there at Sales, Arizona, Tohono O'odham Nation. And they wanted a school too. Mr. Clark, I went down there, testified on their bill, on their behalf. In that bill, there's a provision in there for any existing school can extend their compact additional years, additional 10 years. So when that bill passed, we were eligible to request for extension. So Mr. Clark went down there and asked for extension, and we got it. So that's now in existence. So that's 20 years at what was it, 34, something like that, $34 million. So that was really my work. After that, we came back and we got the tribal council funding, and Ferdinand, President Clark said, "Hey Jack, I want you to go over here, attend a meeting. There's one in Chinle called Chinle Agency Roads Committee, and they're in charge of all the roads within the district. We've been after them, but they haven't done anything. They wouldn't even listen to us. See what you can do." So I went over there, and here they had a meeting, about 6 or 7 board members, and there were a lot of people in there. It got started late, about 11, and these guys traveled different places. I haven't eaten. Maybe they had breakfast, but it was early, and they were hungry. I said, we're hungry. And they didn't have any food. The people that sponsor didn't have any food. So at noon hour, about 1 o'clock, I remember when I ran over to the store, used some of the state school money, and got the grocery sandwiches and put it down for them right there. So, oh, we'll say yes for you. I bought them off right there. So they passed my bill, passed our request, and what it did, they gave us priority also. I thought that was it. I was really happy. Oh, I got about $8 million project going on now. They're reconstructing that road. It's circle road and then the parking lot. It was a mess. It was run down. So that's about all the funding that I was able to help acquire with the Navajo Nation. When I was senator over at Arizona State Legislature, they invited us. They invited us to come participate in one of the graduate recognitions. So when they got to me, Senator Jackson, come over here and tell us, what did you get out of this university? So I said, well, one best thing I got out of this, I got a wife. She's a good woman. She's a tough woman, a strong woman. You got to have that kind of a person to be a successful person. So one day I was sitting home and there's a group of people came by. There's a man, somebody's coming. And there was about 6 of them came over to my place, our place. So they sat down, they talked, and they talked about what's going on. These are tribal council members. One that I know pretty well is Andrew Shepard from Ganado, very strong peace law supporter. He said we're tired of this guy, right? He's using his position to downgrade the administration. He shouldn't be doing that. We want to get him out of this coming election. He's down at Arizona State House of Representatives. So he said, we want you to run. We're going to ask you to run. You're the only one that we can think of that would defeat that man over there. So let me think about it. Let me think. So I'll let you know in a few days. So they went, and my wife said no. I said yes. So we went back and forth, and we finally said, go ahead, do what you want to. So therefore, I ran, and I won. When I got there, I didn't know really how to go about it there. I had no idea what it was until one day, one of the members, strong member by the name of the late Burton Barr, very powerful man. I was walking behind him, he turned around and said, come on to my office, Mr. Jackson. I want to talk to you. So I went in there and he sat down. And he said, one of the biggest problems that I'm facing as a leader, as him, is that we have very poor relationship with the Indian people in the state. For some reason, they don't trust us. And he went on to say, maybe I shouldn't blame them, after all what happened to the Indian people and the state. So I think we can work on it, somehow improve the relationship. So I said, okay, I'll think of some way we should work on it. My wife, his brother, was a member of the New Mexico State Legislature. His name was Leo Watchman. And one weekend he invited me to go with him over there. Go with him to observe. So when I got there, there were a lot of Indian people there. And what they had was tribal legislative day, where the Indian people, the Indian government comes there and sit down with the state legislature and the committees, whatever the issue is, they're invited to speak on these issues. So they were involved with the state. Oh my gosh, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. So I came back and went over there and told him I went to see this event over there. Very successful. He said, maybe we ought to give it a try. Okay, let's do it. So the following year, we introduced a bill to sponsor a Arizona Indian Legislative Day. So that way, we brought, that was one very, very important thing that happened. We brought the state government and the Indian tribe culture together. I guess the state began to realize, hey, that guy has some leadership. That Indian boy over there, we got to use him. So I gained a lot of friends there. In the house, I was in the house. I was there 14 years in the house. I don't know how I did it, but I still look back. God dang it, 14 years. And then one day, the governor called me, and she said, I want you to help me. What we need is to upgrade our school facilities. All these schools, we tore it, it's run down, he says. Some of them don't even have restrooms. That's how bad our school facilities are. She said that. I need your vote on this. I said, okay. So when the bill was introduced, it was a very controversial issue. She needed 31 vote. She only had 30 vote to pass that bill in the House. So she called me and said, this is where you come in. So she had that bill scheduled about 4 or 5 times in the House, and she lost it every time. And tonight I'm gonna run it one more time. If it doesn't pass, then I'll forget it. So I need your vote tonight. So okay, I'll do it. So I went back to my group, my caucus, and said I'm going to vote with the bill. Oh, they were ready to hang me, the Democrats. Why do you want to do this, Jack? So you go up there on Navajo Reservation, take a look at the school facilities. She's right. She's right that our school facilities are all beat up. And besides, my people want it. They would like to have some kind of a program to upgrade their facilities. So they're the one that voted for me. You didn't vote for me. So I kind of got into it with them. Said, okay, go ahead. So that night, I voted with the Republican Party and we passed that bill. I was a hero for a while there. Republicans were really friendly, and my own party was ready to hang me. In Indian Wells, there's no school there. And I know some of my cousins were on the school board at Holbrook School District. And I know that they were trying to get the school there, and they were denied every time they tried. So I went to the board several times, and they didn't believe me for a while. So what my point was, these kids up there are being denied of their rights to a decent education. This is what the state's doing to these Navajo kids. And no wonder they're behind when they graduate. No wonder some of them just leave school. The state's fault, your fault. I kind of put it to them that way. So they set up the office. They had a CEO. What do you call it? What's their name? Director of that. They said, you go with him. See what he's talking about. He was told. And then they if it's true, here's the policy that they come up with. What they said was that no kid should be on a bus more than 1 hour one way. No kid should be riding a bus more than 4 to 5 miles one way. If a community faced with about 100 or more students in a community faces those situations, that community is entitled to a new school. I called my friends over in Indian Wells, and we're coming over this evening, that date, and we're going to have a hearing. This guy wants to know actually what's going on. And he has the authority now given to him to decide which school, which community deserves a new facilities. I didn't think that those people would show up. When we got there that evening, I forgot what date it was, that the chapter house was full and the parking lot was full. All these people were there. So we had I gave a short presentation. This is what we're here for. This man here wants to listen to you. And they gave it to him. Said, you don't know who we are. You don't even know us. You state. You think everything's okay, but it's not okay. This is what we're faced. Our kids have to ride a bus this long every day. Every day they're on the bus about 4 hours a day. And one lady, she really got after him because she said she had 2 girls, two little ones. And this bus doesn't stop. So my kids got on the bus and both of them went on themselves. And these other kids were making fun of them. And they refused to go on the bus anymore. So we have to take them down there. And Mr. Geiger said, let's stop right here. Let's stop. I don't want to hear any more testimony. You deserve a new facility. You're going to get it. And that's how that school was built right there.
The feelings I get when I see him, it's more of a reminder. Just the memories of all they stand for, all they stood for. Many times our people, even my own children, don't remember. Just this morning was thinking about how what a good life many people have because of them.